Praise chanted, Prabhu. I'll just chant praise.
Yeah, not yet.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadanti Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Irupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinobandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisavanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam vaishnavebhyo pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So thank you very much. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to all of you who have joined. Currently 12. I think there are more devotees that will be joining in soon. I have to just post the update that the class has started. um, Prabhu is not doing well, and since last 2 weeks, and he's still joining us regardless. So highly inspiring to see him. Prabhu, I think you can leverage on some of them who can. I would request all the devotees to read the passages or the purports. Prabhu could not read as much. He's a little down under the weather. So please cooperate for that. And with that note, I think we can open up the floor for questions, any reflections, suggestions for any topics that you may have, as the ritual goes every week. So please feel free to chat or unmute yourself and speak over. But meanwhile, I'll just pass on the mic to His Grace Sundar Gopāl Prabhuji to grace the session and with his opening comments and take the session forward. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
So thank you again. Thank you very much for your kind association. Nice to be with all of you again. So, of course, the best way to associate is always to inquire about Krishna, and that gives us a lot of happiness in our heart. So I'm very much inspired by being with all of you. And if you can, again, inspire everybody with your kind questions, I think this will be very nice interaction for all of us. So, with this, I would like to open the floor for any one of you to come forward with your any of your questions. If you can't write, you can at least flag, and we will kind of attend to you. Thank you again. Hare Krishna. So, anyone be kind enough to raise some points?
Still joining.
Prabhu, I do have one question.
Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, I had a question related to authority. Like there are some sub questions also. So first thing is that I wanted to know, like authority means, um, what are his qualifications for a particular person to be become the authority, and when someone like whom we have to follow, should we see that person's material qualifications or spiritual qualifications? Because as far as I have heard from your lectures and other lectures, it is only spiritual this thing, spiritual devotional service, how much experience he has. So I wanted to have more insights on authority, what are the qualifications, and how should I follow the authority?
Want to read this?
Yes, Prabhuji. One should mentally honor the
Sundar
devotees
Gopāl.
One should mentally honor the devotees who chants the holy name of Lord Krishna. One should offer humble obeisances to the devotees who has undergone spiritual initiation, Diksha, and is engaged in worshipping the deity. And one should associate with and faithfully serve that pure devotee who is advanced in undeviated devotional service and whose heart is completely devoid of the propensities to criticize others.
So, you
So
understand
insightful,
how
Prabhuji.
we uh, give our respects to the different categories of devotees?
Yes, Prabhu.
Hmm?
Yes, Prabhu. It was straight. I
Uh,
could.
the same point is also explained here. In this verse, you can see, you want to read this?
Yes, Prabhu. One who desires his ultimate self interest should cultivate friendship with those persons who have accepted Krishna as the Lord of their life. One should further develop an attitude of service towards all living beings. One should especially try to help those in the human form of life, and among them, especially those who accept the principles of religious behavior. Among religious persons, one should especially render service to the pure devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
So you understand this? Hmm?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
How,
Clear.
I mean, we don't, it doesn't mean that we don't respect anybody. We have to show respect to everybody. But for
Yes,
those
Prabhuji.
who have taken spiritual life, then there's an order, those who have chanting Hare Krishna, we mentally honor them. Hmm?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
Those who have taken spiritual initiation, we pay obeisances to them, especially if they are worshipping the deity. Hmm?
Yes, Prabhuji.
And
Yes.
of course, those who are advanced, then we serve them, no?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So
Understood.
this is the, what we say, the natural way of relating to devotees, you see.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hmm. So one who is advanced means that he is, you know, thoroughly understands. He actually is a first class devotee, you know. A first class devotee means that he is, fully understands Krishna consciousness, you know.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hmm?
Yes, yes.
He knows the Shastra in and out. Huh? Thing is 74, yeah. So this is the topmost devotee, you know. You want to read this?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, a first class Vaishnava is he whose very presence makes others chant the holy name of Krishna. Srila Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that if an observer immediately remembers the holy name of Krishna upon seeing a Vaishnava, that Vaishnava should be considered as Mahabhagavata, a first class devotee. Such a Vaishnava is always aware of his Krishna conscious duty, and he is enlightened in self realization. He is always in love with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, and this love is without adulteration. But because of this love, he is always awake to transcendental realization. Because he knows that Krishna consciousness is the basis of knowledge and action, he sees everything as being connected with Krishna. Such a person is able to chant the holy name of Krishna perfectly. Such a Mahabhagavata Vaishnava has the transcendental eyes to see who is sleeping under the spell of Maya, and he engages himself in awakening sleeping conditioned beings by spreading the knowledge of Krishna consciousness. He opens eyes that are closed by forgetfulness of Krishna. Thus, the living entity is liberated from the dullness of material energy and is fully engaged in service of Lord. The Madhyama Adhikari Vaishnava awakens others to Krishna consciousness and engages whereby they can advance. It is therefore said in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, turns iron into gold. One should judge by action, not by promises. A Mahabhagavata can turn a living entity from abominable material life to the Lord's service. This is the test of a Mahabhagavata. Although preaching is not meant for a Mahabhagavata can descend to the platform of Madhyama Bhagavata just to convert others to Vaishnavism. Actually, a Mahabhagavata is fit to spread Krishna consciousness, but he does not distinguish where Krishna consciousness should be spread from where it should not. He thinks that everyone is competent to accept Krishna consciousness if the chance is provided. A neophyte and an intermediate devotee should always be eager to hear the Mahabhagavata and serve him in every respects. The neophyte and intermediate devotee can gradually rise to the platform of Uttamadhikari and become first class devotees. Symptoms of first class devotees are given in Srimad Bhagavatam. The most advanced devotee sees within everything the soul of all souls, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. Consequently, he sees systematically everything in relation to Supreme Lord and understands that everything that exists is eternally situated within the Lord. When teaching Sanatan Goswami, the Lord further said, one who is expert in the Vedic literature and has fully full faith in the Supreme Lord is Uttamadhikari, a first class Vaishnava, or everyone to Krishna consciousness. With great love and affection, the Mahabhagavata observes the Supreme Personality of Godhead, devotional service, and the devotees. He observes nothing beyond Krishna consciousness, and Krishna's devotees. The Mahabhagavata knows that everyone is engaged in the Lord's service in different ways. He therefore descends to the middle platform to elevate everyone to the Krishna consciousness position.
Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji, clear.
Hmm. So this is the authority, how you should respect each and every class of devotees.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Respect everybody, but we have to know, someone who is chanting, someone who is initiated, someone is highly advanced. So different ways of, reciprocating our service to them. Hmm?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, understood. Prabhuji.
Hmm. It is not like a corporate thing where I put on some kind of a appellate and say that, look, I am very senior and you must do this and you must do and that.
Yes, Prabhuji.
you know. Hmm?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hmm. Because that is in the corporate world, but in the spiritual world, we have. Because automatically everyone want to respect anyone, that for sure.
Hmm.
But one who is, spiritually highly advanced means that he is expert. He says here, one who is very expert in the scriptures.
Vedic literatures. Yes, Prabhuji.
Hmm. If someone doesn't know the scriptures, then how you can be a first class devotee? Very
Yes,
difficult.
Prabhuji.
Hmm?
Yes, Prabhuji, how to deal with those devotees? Like, they bring in this corporate culture into the spirituality. How do we deal with such devotees?
The best way is
Like they behave the same as how they do.
the best way is not to offend anybody. Just bow
Okay,
down and show
okay,
your
Prabhuji.
respects and stay a distance, no?
Yes,
Yes.
Prabhuji.
Hmm.
Understood.
Why get into
Yes.
because the other party will not be willing to listen, no?
But Prabhuji, that is wrong,
Actually, but
right?
a person who
So,
is in the neophyte level is always thinking he knows the best, no?
yes, Prabhuji.
So that's the problem, you see. Doesn't know
Mm.
how to deal with the others, is always looking for trouble, and is always thinking he knows everything. Hmm?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So that's the problem, what to do.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So this is the 47 verse. This is how a neophyte thinks. A
A
devotee,
devotee
yeah, please read.
A devotee who faithfully engages in the worship of the deity in the temple but does not behave properly towards other devotees or people in general is called a prakruta bhakta, a materialistic devotee, and is considered to be in the lowest position.
So this is
Yes,
the
Prabhuji.
position of the person, who is always demanding, respect.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So you be careful not
Yes,
to
Prabhuji.
try to lock horns. There'll be a problem, no?
Yes, Prabhuji. Understood.
Hmm. Of course, everybody is a devotee, but unless
Yes.
we are very advanced, uh,
Yes.
we cannot we cannot see who actually is advanced and who is actually not advanced, no?
Yes, Prabhuji. Understood.
Hmm. So, but to imitate a first class devotee, that is also not good, no?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So we tend to make offenses. That's not so good, no?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hmm?
Yes, Prabhuji. Understood.
So here you can read this.
Yes, Prabhuji. Srila Madhavi, Srila Madhav, sorry, Madhvacharya, sorry. Uh, Prabhuji from Srila, where?
Shla Madhvacharya states, Acharyam eva samstitam Vishnum gyantva tat anyatra naiva janati ya puman. You want to read Kanista Adhikari?
Yes, Prabhuji, I will read. A Kanishta Adhikari has no idea that the Supreme Lord has the power to exist exist outside a church or temple. Furthermore, being puffed up by his own ceremonial worship, Atmano Bhakti Tarpataha, a Kanishta Adhikari cannot imagine that anyone is more pious or religious than he. And he is not even aware that other devotees are more advanced. Thus, he cannot understand the Madhyama or Uttama standards of devotional service. And sometimes, because of his false pride, he criticizes the more advanced devotees of the Lord, neglects them, or simply has no understanding of their exalted position as preachers or completely self realized souls. Another symptom of the Kanishta Adhikari is that he is
Actuated
infatuated by the
material qualification.
infatuated by the material qualifications of so-called great materialistic person. Having a bodily concept of life himself, he is attracted by material opulences and thus minimize the position of the Supreme Lord Vishnu. Such a Kanishta Adhikari therefore is disturbed if a second class devotee, in the name of compassion or kindness, a Kanishta Adhikari approves of non devotional activities of such materialistic men because the Kanishta Adhikari is ignorant of the higher realm of devotional service and unlimited transcendental bliss of Krishna consciousness. He sees devotional service merely as the religious aspect of life, but thinks that life has many enjoyable and worthwhile non devotional aspects. Therefore, he becomes angry when second class devotees when second class devotees started showing still. When second class who are experiencing that Krishna is everything, criticize the non devotees. Madhvacharya states that such a person, because of his rudimental faith in Krishna, bhakta dhamma, a devotee on the lowest standard. If such materialistic devotees follow the rules and regulations of deity worship, they will gradually be elevated to the highest standards and eventually become pure against other devotees, in which case their advancement will be checked. Yes, please.
So you can understand this is what exactly it is, you know. A neophyte devotee is always, you know, puts more
Yes,
emphasis
Prabhuji.
on material qualification. You understand?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji.
So this is the, you know, they try to kind of, you know, exhibit their so-called material destination. I'm so and so. I'm this. I'm that, and you know, is attracted by material opulence. So this way, you know, and then they also criticize people who are preaching. And because they are thinking that they know better, they always will be criticizing, the devotees who are preaching against this non-devotees,
Yes, Prabhuji.
For example, when we preach against all these people who are not devotees, then you see these so-called devotees are always saying so many crazy things about us.
Yes, Prabhuji.
They say they are ISKM devotees, they don't know how to preach, they are making trouble by attacking all these so-called, so-called saints in their level. Huh?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji.
Uh,
Understood.
yeah. So this is how they behave, you see, there's a neophyte devotees. Hmm?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji.
So we should be, I mean, what can you do? We just go on with our work, no?
Yes, Prabhuji. Trinada Pisanichena. That's I was just thinking.
We don't have to waste our time with this. As there's a saying, the
Yes,
dog
Prabhuji.
will bark, but the caravan will pass.
Yes, Prabhuji. Understood.
Uh, so therefore, we should go on with our work and take association of a advanced devotee.
Devotees. Yes, Prabhuji.
Mm,
Understood, Prabhuji.
by taking association and advanced devotee, then we also will advance.
Yes, Prabhuji.
You understand?
Yes, yes.
But if you don't take association and advanced devotee, huh,
Yes, Prabhuji.
then how you will advance? Hmm?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Understand?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So it's dangerous to be in this level because you start creating offenses to the advanced devotee.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So therefore we have to be careful though.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hmm. This is the problem actually. They always like to criticize,
Hmm.
knowing that they think they know better.
Yes, Prabhuji. Correct.
Hmm. So we should just stay far away from them because if we associate with such people, then we also become implicated, no?
Yes, Prabhuji. Correct.
Hmm. Understand?
Yes, Prabhuji. Understood.
Hmm. So this whole chapter is something anyone, all of you should try to read. It'll be good for you, no?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Right? So it's dangerous to remain as a neophyte.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hmm.
Prabhuji, the verse is 11.2.47.
This one,
You mentioned about this thing we have to study. Which is that, Prabhuji?
11 to 47, you can read the whole purport.
Okay, Prabhuji. I'll read.
So it gives you more idea on the level of a Kanista Adhikari.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hmm.
Understood, Prabhuji. I'll read.
All right. So,
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Great.
No more questions. There's no questions. Anybody else has anything to say or
Hare
what?
Krishna, Prabhu. We
Yes.
accept normal obeisances of all the Krishna Prabhupada. So
Hmm.
I have a question, Prabhu, if I may ask, no?
Yeah, please.
Prabhu, actually, sometimes, sometimes my mind says that, try to practice Krishna consciousness alone. Why you always want to stay with the devotee? Of course, it just says I don't act on this principle. But sometimes this thought comes. And intellectually, I know that this is actually a very nonsensical thought and it's Maya. But nevertheless, when such thoughts come or, when I feel very frustrated, I always feel like giving up even though there is no other way out. Just like it's always said in the lectures that material life is impossible, spiritual life is hard, but at least there is a path and there is a way. So, but sometimes when one is frustrated or when one feels like giving up or there is no desire to actually associate with the devotees, then how should one actually combat this? I mean,
The best way to combat this is to reveal your mind to the devotees.
yes, so
Hmm. So like now you're asking me a question, so I'll say there's a mind. That's why the mind, we cannot rely on the mind under no circumstances.
yes,
Especially now the mind is always behaving inimically to our devotional practice, you see.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, yes, Prabhu.
Hmm. That's why a spiritualist will never talk about the mind, you know. He tries to not listen to the mind at all. Associate with the devotees, try to read, try to chant. You know, in that way the mind can get purified, you see. So
Yes, Prabhu.
until we purify the mind will always be giving all kind of wild ideas, you know. Hmm?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Hmm. So Krishna says the mind can be the best friend or the worst enemy. Yes.
Yes, Prabhu.
Hmm. So if the mind is not engaged in Krishna's service, then it's going to give you a lot of wild ideas, no? So
Yes, Prabhu.
therefore we have to be vigilant. We have to wake up, chant your rounds. Especially we should try to take only Krishna Prasadam, you know. All these
Yes,
are
Prabhu.
very, what we say, important rules that we cannot neglect, you know.
Yes, Prabhu. So I actually take only Krishna Prasadam and I also chant 16 rounds. But
Hmm.
even despite that, sometimes I kind of feels like hopeless, bro. Like sometimes I feel like good. Of course, whenever I feel if I feel good or bad, nevertheless, I just kind of bite my teeth and just do the
Hmm.
process like 16 rounds for regular principles morning japa. Of course, not at like 4:30, about 5:15 from that time. But nevertheless, it still kind of feels hopeless and always feel I don't know. Uh,
No,
kind of.
but when you go out and preach, then everything is caught up, you know. You go
Yes,
out,
Prabhu.
you talk to somebody, you distribute books, doing something, then this mind immediately it just gets away, you know. Hmm.
Yes,
So
Prabhu.
service is important though. If you can do some service, but because you are not doing some active service, then the mind will create all kind of, you know, idle mind is the devil's workshop, you know. Yes.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes,
Uh,
Prabhu. Right, Prabhu.
So we should try to engage our mind in some kind of Krishna conscious service, and that way we will get some relief, no? Yes.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Especially if you distribute books or you preach to somebody, then yeah, you know, the mind will become a bit more, what we say, controlled. You know?
Yes, Prabhu.
So you try to do some service.
Yes, Prabhu. So
She's
I will
Radhika Devi.
actually,
She's
The mind will become. Hmm?
yes, Prabhu. I actually spacing out in some of the online services which I was doing. So I needed to hear this. Yes, Prabhu. I'll get back to it and I'll also try to preach to my friends and some others. Yes, Prabhu.
So therefore, this is the best way to, you know,
Yes, Prabhu.
this mind of ours we have been carrying with us since how many lifetimes, you know, only Krishna knows. Hmm? And because
Yes,
of
Prabhu.
this mind, we have been put into different bodies, you know. Yes.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes,
Hmm.
Prabhu.
So if we are not going to control this mind, then again we are going to see how many more births. That's going to be a bit dangerous, no?
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, very dangerous.
Hmm. So best thing is to engage it. As Krishna said, think of me, worship me, surely you will come to me, no? Correct?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes,
Hmm.
Prabhu. Right.
So you keep trying. Everybody has to keep trying, you know. Nobody can say now, okay, I have already conquered my mind. I will sit idle and I will do, you know, whatever I can. That doesn't work, you know. Until the time of death, you know, we have to be able to keep the mind under focus, no?
Yes,
Yes.
Prabhu.
So therefore we have to be vigilant. That's why there's
Yes,
a
Prabhu.
verse here, it says, no, even if you have conquered your mind, still the hunter will not trust the mind, no?
Yes, Prabhu.
5, 6, 2, I think. 562, is it? Yeah. You want to read?
Yes, Prabhu, I can read it. 562, translation. Srila Sukadev Goswami replied, My dear king, you have spoken correctly. However, after capturing animals, a cunning hunter does not put faith in them, for they might run away. Similarly, those who are very advanced in spiritual life do not put faith in the mind. Indeed, they always remain vigilant and watch the mind's action.
You saw that?
Yes,
Huh?
yes, Prabhu.
So therefore we have to be careful, no?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes.
Yes, Prabhu. All the learned scholars have given their opinion. The mind is by nature very restless, and one should not make friends with it. If we place full confidence in the mind, it may cheat us at any moment. Even Lord Shiva became agitated upon seeing the Mohini form of Lord Krishna, and Saubhari Muni also fell down from the mature stage of yogic perfection.
So you see how the examples are.
Yes, Prabhu.
So trying to capture the mind is not a lightweight affair, you know.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes,
Sure.
Prabhu.
It is a perennial problem, you know. Especially you are going to school, you know.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah. That's more difficult. Yes. Have to read from here, Prabhu.
Read,
Agrahasa.
please
Yes,
read.
Prabhu. I will. Yes, Prabhu. A grahastha, vanaprastha, sannyasi, and brahmachari should be very careful when associating with women. One is forbidden to sit down in a solitary place, even with one's mother, sister, or daughter. In our Krishna consciousness movement, it has been very difficult to disassociate ourselves from women in our society, especially in Western countries. We are therefore sometimes criticized, but nonetheless, we are trying to give everyone a chance to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and thus advance spiritually. If we stick to the principle of chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra offenselessly, then by the grace of Srila Haridas Thakur, we may be saved from the allurement of women. However, if we are not very strict in chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we may at any time fall victim to women.
So that,
Yes,
so, you know, guess you are in school and your environment is pretty much contaminating, no? Yes?
yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Right.
So what to do? I guess you have to follow here, strictly chanting.
Yes, Prabhu.
So you try.
Yes, Prabhu. So, the purport is that whenever one's mind is disturbed, we should always like reveal it to the devotees, not keep it with himself.
That is the best, you know. If you can
Yes,
talk
Prabhu.
to a devotee, that's the best way to keep your mind, you know, online. When you reveal your mind, then the mind, you know, cannot agitate you anymore, no?
Hmm. Yes,
Right?
Prabhu. Right. Yes, Prabhu. Yeah.
So this is the best. That's why I also said in
Yes,
the
Prabhu.
nectar of devotion, you know, sorry, nectar of instruction, it says here, this is the process, you know, to make progress, you see.
Yes, Prabhu. Offering gifts in charity, accepting charitable gifts, revealing one's mind in confidence, inquire confidentially, accepting prasada, and offering prasada are the 6 symptoms of love shared by one devotee and another.
So you understand, revealing one's mind in confidence and inquiring confidentially. So
Hmm.
that's
Yes,
how the
Prabhu.
mind can become, you know, somebody, you can weaken the mind if you do this, you see.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Don't reveal your mind, then the mind will run havoc in your, you know, consciousness, you know.
Yes, Prabhu.
Understand?
Yes, Prabhu.
So these are something that we should be a bit careful of, you know.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. I will do this, Prabhu.
You try.
Yes, Prabhu. I will do this, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for your kind association.
Prabhu, how can one differentiate between Srimati Radharani and Radhakund? There's no difference. Why we should differentiate? There's no need to differentiate. Radhakund is an extension of Radharani's. Prabhu, is it possible that pastimes of Lord Krishna will repeat again in a new yoga, Satya Yoga, and after Kali? The pastimes of Krishna will come every day of Brahma on the, I think, the 7th Manu, on the 28th cycle of the Manu's 77 cycles. So this thing will come every day of Lord Brahma. So cycle is always going on. It is not that because Krishna's pastime is over, that everything is finished. No, his pastimes are eternal, you know.
Yes, Prabhu.
Understand?
Yes, Prabhu, I understand.
They're always there. What is the Somaras mentioned in 827? I guess you can go and find out. I don't know what is Somaras. It's some kind of heavenly nectar. Apart from that, I don't know. Some non-devotees were asking that why do you worship Lord Narsimha and not Govinda? What is this? Why we are worshipping Lord Narsimha and not Govinda? We are told to worship what our Guru has given us. We
Yes,
follow
Prabhu.
what our Guru has ordered us, not that we speculate anything and everything we worship, no?
Yes,
Yeah.
Prabhuji.
So you tell them if our Guru is, I mean, why we are not worshipping Govinda? Every morning we chant Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. That's not worshipping Govinda?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji.
Correct?
Correct, Prabhuji.
So the person doesn't understand nothing, is speaking like this.
Mm. Yes, Prabhuji.
Follow. Govinda and Krishna are non-different. What is the difference?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Brahma is saying, Ishvara Paramaha Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda. So Krishna and Govinda's name are in that mantra, is it not?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So how is it that we are not worshipping Govinda?
Yes, yes. Understood.
You talk to them like that and explain, no?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So could you please elaborate on Hladani Sakti, that is Radharani? So you can go, you can read here, I think it is in Chaitanya Charitamrita. You can read about who is Srimati Radharani. Okay, we can read this one. So, anyone wants to read this?
Yes, so I can read.
Hmm.
Four kinds of devotees are the receptacles of the four kinds of mellows in love of God, namely servitude, friendship, parental affection, and conjugal love. Each kind of devotee feels that his sentiment is the most excellent, and thus in that mood he tastes great happiness with Lord Krishna. But if we compare the sentiments in an impartial mood, we find that the conjugal sentiment is superior to all other in sweetness. No one is higher or lower than anyone else in the transcendental relationships with the Lord. For in the absolute realm, everything is equal. But although these relationships are absolute, there are also transcendental differences between them. Thus, the transcendental relationship of conjugal love is considered the highest perfection. Increasing love is experienced in various stages, one above another. But that love, which has the highest stage in the gradual succession of desire, manifests itself in the form of conjugal love. Therefore, I call it Madhura Rasa. It has two further divisions, namely wedded and unwedded love. There is a great increase of mellow in the unwedded conjugal mood. Such love is found nowhere but in Vraja. This mood is unbounded in the damsels of Vraja, but among them it finds its perfection in Sri Radha. Her pure, mature love surpasses that of all others. Her love is the cause of Lord Krishna's tasting the sweetness of the conjugal relationship. Therefore, Lord Gauranga, who Sri Hari himself, accepted the sentiments of Radha and thus fulfilled his own desires. Lord Chaitanya is the shelter of the demigods, the goal of the Upanishads, the be-all and end-all of all the great sages, the beautiful shelter of his devotees, and the essence of the love of the lotus-eyed gopis. Will he again be the object of my vision? Lord Krishna desired to taste the limitless nectarian mellows of the love of one of his multitude of loving damsels, Sri Radha. And so he has assumed the form of Lord Chaitanya. He has tasted that love while hiding his own dark complexion with her effulgent yellow color. May that Lord Chaitanya confer upon us his grace. To accept ecstatic love is the main reason he appeared and re-established the religious symptoms for this age. I shall now explain that reason. Everyone, please listen. Having first given hints about the verse describing the principal reason why the Lord appeared, now I shall manifest its full. The loving affairs of Sri Radha and Krishna are transcendental manifestations of the Lord's internal pleasure-giving potency. Although Radha and Krishna are one in their identity, previously they separated themselves. Now, these two transcendental identities are again united in the form of Sri Krishna Chaitanya. I bow down to him who has manifested himself for the sentiment and complexion of Srimati Radharani, although he is Krishna himself. Radha and Krishna are one and the same, but they have assumed two bodies. Thus, they enjoy each other, tasting the mellows of love. Now, to enjoy rasa, they have appeared in one body as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore, I shall first delineate the position of Radha and Krishna. From that description, the glory of Lord Chaitanya will be known. Srimati Radhika is a transformation of Krishna's love. She is his internal energy called Hladini. That Hladini energy gives Krishna pleasure and nourishes his devotees. Lord Krishna's body is eternal, Sat, full of knowledge, Chit, and full of bliss, Ananda. His one spiritual energy manifests three forms. Hladini is his aspect of bliss, Sandhini of eternal existence, and Samvit of cognizance, which is also accepted as knowledge. O Lord, you are the support of everything. The three attributes Hladini, Sandhini, and Samvit exist in you as one spiritual energy. But the material modes which cause happiness, misery, and mixture of the two do not exist in you, for you have no material qualities. The essential portion of the Sandhini potency is Shuddha Sattva. Lord Krishna's existence rests upon it. Krishna's mother, father, abode, house, bedding, seats, and so on are all transformations of Shuddha Sattva. The condition of pure goodness, Shuddha Sattva, in which the Supreme Personality of Godhead is revealed without any covering, is called Vasudeva. In that pure state, the Supreme Godhead, who is beyond the material senses and who is known as Vasudeva, is perceived by my mind. The essence of the Samvit potency is knowledge that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is Lord Krishna. All other kinds of knowledge, such as the knowledge of Brahman, are its components. The essence of the Hladini potency is love of God. The essence of love of God is emotion, bhava, and the ultimate development of emotion is mahabhava. Sri Radha Thakurani is the embodiment of mahabhava. She is the repository of all good qualities and a crest jewel among all the lovely consort of Lord Krishna. Of these two gopis, Radharani and Chandravali, Srimati Radharani is superior in all respects. She is the embodiment of Mahabhava and she surpasses all in good qualities. Her mind, senses, and body are steeped in love for Krishna. She is Krishna's own energy and she helps him in his pastime. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who resides in his own realm, Goloka, with Radha, who resembles his own spiritual figure and who embodies the ecstatic potency, Hladini. Their companions are her confidants, who embody extensions of a bodily form and who are imbued and permeated with ever blissful spiritual rasa. Now please listen to how Lord Krishna's consort help him taste rasa and how they help him in his path. The beloved consorts of Lord Krishna are of three kinds: the goddesses of fortune, the queens, and the milkmaids of Raja, who are the foremost of all. These consorts all proceed from Radhika. Just as the fountainhead Lord Krishna is the cause of all incarnations, so Sri Radha is the
ಪೇಪರ್
cause
ಅದು
of
ನೋಟ್
all
ಔಟ್
these
ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬರ್ತೀನಿ
consorts.
ಸರ್. ಆ ಪೇಪರ್ ಅದು
The goddesses of fortune are partial manifestations of Srimati Radhika, and the queens are reflections of her image. The goddesses of fortune are her plenary portions, and they display the forms of Vaibhava Vilasa. The queens are of the nature of her Vaibhava Prakasha. The Vraja Devis have diverse bodily features. They are her expansions and are the instruments for expanding rasa. Without many concerts, there is no such exaltation in rasa. Therefore, there are many manifestations of Srimati Radharani to assist in the Lord's pastime. Among them are various groups of consorts in Vraja who have varieties of sentiments and mellows. They help Lord Krishna taste all the sweetness of the rasa dance and other pastimes. Radha is the one who gives pleasure to Govinda. She is also the enchantress of Govinda. She is the be-all and end-all of Govinda, and the crest jewel of all his consorts. The transcendental goddess Srimati Radharani is a direct counterpart of Lord Sri Krishna. She is a central figure for all the goddesses of fortune. She possesses all the attractiveness to attract the all-attractive personality of Godhead. She is the primeval internal potency of the Lord. Devi means resplendent and most beautiful, or else it means the lovely abode of the worship and love sports of Lord Krishna. Krishna Mai means one who's within and without our Lord Krishna. She sees Lord Krishna wherever she casts her glance. Or Krishna Mai means that she is identical with Lord Krishna, for she embodies the mellows of love. The energy of Lord Krishna is identical with him. Her worship Aradhana consists of fulfilling the desires of Lord Krishna. Therefore, the Puranas call her Radhika. Truly, the personality of Godhead has been worshipped by her. Therefore, Lord Govinda, being pleased, has brought her to a lonely spot, leaving us all behind. Therefore, Radha is Parama Devata, the supreme goddess, and she is worshipable for everyone. She is the protectress of all, and she is the mother of the entire universe. I have already explained the meaning of Sarva Lakshmi. Radha is the original source of all the goddesses of fortune. Or Sarva Lakshmi indicates that she fully represents the six opulences of Krishna. Therefore, she is the supreme energy of Lord Krishna. The word Sarvakanti indicates that all beauty and luster rest in her body. All the Lakshmis derive their beauty from her. Kanti may also mean all the desires of Lord Krishna. All the desires of Lord Krishna rest in Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radhika fulfills all the desires of Lord Krishna. This is the meaning of Sarvakanti. Lord Krishna enchants the world, but Sri Radha enchants even him. Therefore, she is the supreme goddess of all. Sri Radha is the full power and Lord Krishna is the possessor of full power. The two are not different, as evidenced by the revealed scriptures. They are indeed the same, just as musk and its scent are inseparable, of fire and heat are non-different. Thus Radha and Lord Krishna are one, yet they have taken two forms to enjoy the mellows of pastimes.
So you understand the meaning of Radharani now? Hello?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hmm?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, sir.
Because you can go on and read the whole chapter, huh? Alright, if you got time, you can carry on reading this whole fourth chapter.
Yes, sir. Prabhu, you want me to read, Prabhu?
No,
Okay, yes, sir.
going to the question.
Yes, sir.
Could you please elaborate on, I think I did that. May I know how Krishna exhibits costless mercy on different occasions or pastimes? Who is asking me this question? Well, you want to know how Krishna exhibits, then the best way is to surrender to the spiritual master. And to the help of the spiritual master, you can understand how Krishna's mercy is acting on different occasions or pastimes. You can only understand when they are revealed by the devotees. You want to mute yourself. Hmm? 5:1. Someone want to read this?
Hare Krishna, married.
Yeah.
Translation: One who has obtained pure devotional service by association with my devotees, always engaged in worshiping me. Thus he very easily goes to my abode, which is revealed by my pure devotees.
So this is how you can understand Krishna's mercy and pastimes and everything. Is it clear? Hello? What's the difference between Brahmaloka and Satyaloka? 5:121 says the Brahmaloka is near Satyaloka.
Hare Krishna Prabhu and Pranam Jai Prabhupada. In purport, Prabhu, purport.
So the word Satyaloka and Brahmaloka is, it looks like they are interchangeable. They are same place, Whereas the Brahmaloka is referring to the Brahman effulgence. You can see here. So that means Satyaloka is situated next to the Brahman effulgence. You understand? Brahma Jyoti. Understand?
Yeah, yes, Prabhu. And in 517, it says Brahmaloga is same as Satyaloga. Another name of Brahmaloga is Satyaloga. Why it is?
Sometimes the Brahmaloka is referring to the Satyaloka. But here Prabhupada is saying that Brahmaloka is the Brahman effulgence, Brahma Jyoti. You understand?
Okay. Yeah, yes, Prabhu.
You have to apply the thing.
Yeah, thank you.
So any more questions? Any other questions? What is? If at position of Lord Shiva is so difficult to control the mind by the Mohini Murti example, how can ordinary beings do that? Also, what has Srila Bhaktisiddhanta meant here to beat the mind with shoes, and before going to bed to beat the mind 100 times with a broomstick. And this way one mind can be kept under control. I literally, like by reading books every day and engaging more in devotional service, taking shelter of devotees. So this is the inevitably the mind is not an easy element to handle. It's very, very difficult to control the mind. It's even said by um, Arjuna in, I think he said in 37, I think. Yeah, Arjuna says, I think it's 34. You can see this is the word of Arjuna. Chanchala manahe Krishna paramati balavadridam tashaham nigraham manye vayureva su duskaram. This is said by Arjuna. The mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, and very strong, O Krishna. And to subdue it, I think, is more difficult than controlling the wind. This is spoken by Arjuna. And then here in the Bhagavatam, I think this is the verse, I hope I'm right. Yeah. Among things possessing qualities, I am the preliminary manifestation of nature, and among great things, I am the total material creation. Among subtle things, I am the spirit soul, and among things that are difficult to conquer, I am the mind. So again, the Lord says that the mind is very difficult to conquer. So you're not dealing with something lightweight. So the program is how to handle this mind. So therefore it is explained here. The best way to deal with the mind is this. The uncontrolled mind is the greatest enemy of the living entity. If one neglects it or gives it a chance, it will grow more and more powerful and will become victorious. Although it is not factual, it is very strong. It covers the constitutional position of the soul. O King, please try to conquer this mind by the weapon of service to the lotus feet of the spiritual master and of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Do this with great Okay. So the way to purify the mind is to take shelter of the spiritual master, surrender to him, and through his instruction try to serve Krishna. So without the help of a guru, it's very difficult to control the mind, practically impossible. That's why it's also said, people who try to abandon the lotus feet of the spiritual master are like merchants who, trying to go on the ship without the helmsman. So the mind is like an impetus horse that even persons who have regulated their senses and breath cannot control. You see there again. Those in this world who try to tame the uncontrolled mind but who abandon the feet of the spiritual master encounter hundreds of obstacles in their cultivation of various distrustful practices. O unborn Lord, they are like merchants on a boat in the ocean who have failed to employ a helmsman. So, without the help of a guru, it's impossible to control the mind. So, we have to have a spiritual master. We have to take shelter of him, and we have to follow his instruction. Then, yes, the mind will eventually become purified. That's the process. It's not impossible, but it's a process. That's why Bhaktisiddhanta say you have to, beat the mind. Beating the mind means that you have to, not listen to it. Hmm? Yes. How can parents train or preach Krishna consciousness to their children? The best way for parents to train or teach is to set an example themselves. If the parents are not becoming Krishna conscious, then the child will pick up very easily. You cannot try to be strict with the child and lenient with yourself. It doesn't work. The best way is to be strict with yourself and then you try to teach the child. So by setting good examples, then the child will also get to see and it also will follow. So this is this process. Whatever a great man does, common man follow. So many parents think that they can, try to train the child, but they themselves slacken and then expecting the child to become very serious. Usually it doesn't work, is it? Hmm?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So it has to be two ways. Parents have to become very strict.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hmm.
Prabhu, just one more question, Prabhu.
Hmm.
Actually, Prabhu, it is stated in the Shastra that when one is initiated by a bona fide spiritual master, he gets the seed of devotional service, right?
Hmm.
So if one is initiated, like all of these people in Gaudiya Math and ISKCON,
Hmm.
because I've noticed that the moment before they get initiated, yeah, definitely there may be some respect for Prabhupada or whatever. But after they get initiated by these bogus persons posing as gurus, then automatically they also start to develop like envious tendency or envious nature against Srila Prabhupada. So in the place of the devotional people, what do they get? Because they have taken shelter of somebody who's not a bona fide spiritual master.
Their spiritual life is stagnated, until they can again revive their connection with Prabhupada. Spiritually, it is, I would say, useless.
That's
Hmm. You cannot try to, do away with Prabhupada or offend Prabhupada. Then you don't get the strength. To fight
Yes,
Maya is not easy, to chant your rounds also is not easy, it's not so simple. You need strength,
yes, Prabhu. Yes,
correct?
Prabhu.
And the strength comes when you worship the spiritual master. Huh?
Yes, Prabhu.
Don't worship the spiritual master, you try to offend him, then how are you going to get the strength? Huh?
Yes, Prabhu. No chance.
No chance, you see. You want to read?
Yes, Prabhu. Srimad Bhagavatam 7:15-45. Okay. As long as one has to accept the material body with its different parts and paraphernalia, which are not fully under one's control, one must have the lotus feet of his superiors, namely his spiritual master and the spiritual master's predecessors. One should have the lotus feet of superiors. Okay. By their mercy, one can sharpen the sword of knowledge, and with the power of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's mercy, one must then conquer the enemies mentioned above. In this way, the devotee should be able to merge into his own transcendental bliss, and then he may give up his body and resume his spiritual identity.
So in the purport, it is explained here. See this word here, a significant word. Can you read all this?
Yes, Prabhupada. A significant word here is Achyuta Balaha. The spiritual master is certainly very merciful to his disciples, and consequently, by satisfying him, a devotee gets strength from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore says, Guru Krishna Prasade Paya Bhaktilata Bij. PC Madhya 19.151. One must first please the spiritual master, and then one automatically pleases Krishna and gets the strength with which to cross the ocean of nescience. If one seriously desires to return home back to Godhead, one must therefore become strong enough by pleasing the spiritual master, for thus one gets the weapon with which to conquer the enemy and also gets the grace of Krishna. Simply getting the weapon of jnana is insufficient. One must sharpen the weapon by serving the spiritual master and adhering to his instructions. Then the candidate will get the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In general warfare, one must take help from his chariot and horses in order to conquer his enemy. And after conquering his enemies, he may give up the chariot and his paraphernalia. Similarly, as long as one has a human body, one should fully use it to obtain the highest perfection of life, namely going back home, back to Godhead. The perfection of knowledge is certainly to become transcendentally situated, Brahma Bhuta, Srimad Bhagavatam 4.30.20, as the Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 18.54, one who is transcendentally situated at once realizes the Supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments nor desires to have anything. He is equally disposed toward all living entities. In that state, he attains pure devotional service. Simply by cultivating knowledge as the impersonalists do, one cannot get out of the clutches of Maya. One must attain the platform of bhakti. One can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead as He is only by devotional service. And when one is in full consciousness of the Supreme Lord by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God. Bhagavad Gita 18.55. Unless one has attained the stage of devotional service and the mercy of the spiritual master in Krishna, there is a possibility that one may fall down and again accept a material body. Therefore, Krishna stresses in the Bhagavad Gita, one who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not upon leaving the body take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, Arjuna. The word tattvataha, meaning in reality, is very important. Tato mam tattvato gyatva. Unless one understands Krishna in truth by the mercy of the spiritual master, one is not free to give up his material body. As it is said, from Bhagavatam 10.2.32, if one neglects to serve the lotus feet of Krishna, one cannot become free from the material clutches simply by knowledge. Even if one attains the stage of Brahmapadam, merging in Brahman, without bhakti, he is prone to fall down. One must be very careful in regard to the danger of falling down again into material bondage. The only insurance is to come to the stage of bhakti from which one is sure not to fall. then one is free from the activities of the material world. In summary, as stated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one must get in touch with a bona fide spiritual master coming in the parampara of Krishna consciousness. For by his mercy and instructions, one is able to get strength from Krishna. Thus, one engages in devotional service and attains the ultimate goal of life, the lotus feet of Vishnu. Significant in this verse are the words Jnanastim Achyuta Balaha. Jnanasim, the sword of knowledge, is given by Krishna, and when one serves the Guru and Krishna in order to hold the sword of Krishna's instructions, Balarama gives one strength. Balaram is Nityananda. Brajendra Nandana, ye Sachi Sutta, Aila se Balarama ila Nitai. This Balarama comes with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and both of them are so merciful that in this age of Kali, one may very easily take shelter of their lotus feet. They come especially to deliver the fallen souls of this age. Their weapon is Sankirtana, Harinama. Thus, one should accept the sword of knowledge from Krishna and be strong with the mercy of Balarama. We are therefore worshipping Krishna Balarama in Vrindavana. In the Mundaka Upanishads 3.2.4, it is said, one cannot attain the goal of life without the mercy of Balarama. Sri Narottam Das Thakur therefore says, when one receives the mercy of Balarama, Nityananda, one can attain the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna very easily. If one has no connection with Nitai, Balarama, then even though one is a very learned scholar or jnani, or has taken birth in a very respectable family, these assets will not help him. We must therefore conquer the enemies of Krishna consciousness with the strength received from Balarama.
So you understand this now?
Yes, so only by serving Prabhupada one can get the mercy of Krishna. So in their case, they're stagnant, right?
You offend him, then where's the question, no? Correct?
Yes, so. Yes, so.
Hmm?
Yes, so. Right, so.
Yeah, this is what they are doing. So how they can succeed in their lives, you know.
But Prabhu, the thing what I have noticed is that they actually, even though they're from ISKCON, they are kind of actually envious of Prabhupada, even though they have just come into Krishna consciousness with, I mean, by reading Prabhupada books. So how can they be like this? I mean,
See, the moment you are not in an advanced platform, see, when you are not in the advanced platform, then you are in the material platform. So in material platform, you're always having competition, you know. He, my enemy, is my friend. You understand? So
yes, Prabhu.
Prabhupada is like a competitor to them. You follow?
Yes,
So
Prabhu.
instead of surrendering to Prabhupada, whenever they see Prabhupada's name is mentioned, they become envious of him. Because he's like a competitor to their so-called, uh, ruling of their disciples and whatnot. Yes, you
Yes, Prabhu.
understand? Hmm? So therefore, prematurely trying to take up this post when you are not in an advanced position, you will develop all these bad qualities.
Yes, Prabhu.
Understand? So try to understand these things. Unfortunately, no, they are trying to become Uttama Adhikaris when they are worse than Kanishta.
Yes, Prabhu.
That's why you talk to them, you feel they are pretty much offensive.
Yes, Prabhu. They're very offensive, actually.
Prabhu, I have a question related to this. You mentioned how you take a position prematurely that you're not qualified for, but there's also in Sastra, Chanaka Niti, where it mentions that the four types of political tools is one of them is you put a person in a place of responsibility. Is that just to kind of make them accountable, or is that like for another reason, or like a sense of control or something political?
No, that is actually materialistic thing, to talk in sweet words and then offer some money and then offer some position and finally to kind of use the stick. So this is not the same when dealing with this devotee's position, because when he is a neophyte, then he doesn't have this goodwill in the heart of worshipping or respecting others. Just now we read in the earlier part about the Kanista Adhikari's position, is it not? He thinks
Yes,
he's always better. And when someone is glorifying Prabhupada, he doesn't like to hear that. You understand?
yes, that's
Well,
true.
Prabhupada is better than anyone, but he just doesn't want to submit. He thinks that everybody should worship him. You follow? That's why it's very dangerous, to try to take up this role in a premature manner. So instead of actually helping, you will be creating offenses, and those who follow you will also become implicated. Hmm? Yes?
Yes,
Yes. So therefore, you should not. And this is actually the point, because when they commit offenses, just like we see in this verse, the Lord is telling, what's his name, Durvasha Muni. So you see here, O Brahmana, let me now advise you for your own protection. Please hear from me. By offending Maharaj Ambrisa, you have acted with self-envy. Therefore, you should go to him immediately without a moment's delay. One so-called prowess, when employed against the devotee, certainly harms him who employs it. Thus it is subject, not the object, who is harmed. You understand? So when they are envying Prabhupada and Prabhupada's position, then they are creating big offense on themselves. Hello, you're following?
yes. I'm following in that case.
Yes.
Definitely,
Eh?
yes, Prabhu.
Because they are envying Prabhupada. And that's very detrimental. Hmm? You follow?
Yes,
Yes, Prabhu.
Can read the purport. Someone can read.
Purport: a Vaishnava is always an object of envy for non-devotees, even when the non-devotee happens to be his father. To give a practical example, Hiranyakashipu was envious of Prahlad Maharaj, but this envy of the devotees was harmful to Hiranyakashipu, not to Prahlad. Every action taken by Hiranyakashipu against his son Prahlada was taken very seriously by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And thus, when Hiranyakashipu was on the verge of killing Prahlada, the Lord personally appeared and killed Hiranyakashipu. For a service to a Vaishnava gradually accumulates and becomes an asset for the devotee. Similarly, harmful activities directed against the devotee gradually becomes the ultimate cause of the performer's fall down. Even such a great brahmana and mystic yogi as Durvasa was in a most dangerous situation because of his offense at the lotus feet of Maharaj Ambarish, a pure devotee.
So is it clear?
Very, very, very clear, Prabhu.
So although they are, I mean, they say Prabhupada, Prabhupada, but actually they are very harmful to Prabhupada.
Yes, Prabhu.
It's true.
So we should not go with them or follow them or do anything with them. No, you will be implicated.
Yes.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
I do have another follow-up question related to this. There was a Prabhupada Leela where one of his disciple, Bhakti Tirtha Swami, he was mentioning how his previous guru before Prabhupada, he always tells him that I'm not your guru, and your guru is actually Prabhupada. And he explains to him that because of Prabhupada's presence here, I stopped teaching. So why is it that many other than this spiritual teacher who realized the exalted position of Prabhupada, why is it that other spiritual teachers are still teaching even though Prabhupada is still present, teaching the whole world and everything?
Even though he said that, Prabhupada is the guru, why you make all his disciples chant his mantra? Why? So all these guys are bogus, every one of them. Externally they will say Prabhupada is a guru, and then why do you make the disciple worship him? Huh? Hello? You understand the duplicity? Is it clear?
Clear.
Huh?
Very, very clear.
This is cheating. Why don't you just step out and say, forget it, I'm not going to take any more worship. If Prabhupada is for everything, and from today you just chant Prabhupada's mantra. They won't say that. Would they say that? Come
No,
on.
absolutely not.
Rascal them. You understand? Yes, Prabhupada. Yes, everything Prabhupada. And then ask everybody to chant their mantra and put their picture and all this nonsense, Prabhu. Hello? Huh?
In this story of Bhakti Tirtha Swami, he was saying that this was a Mayavadi teacher that he was, I think it was some yogi that he was learning under, and this yogi was saying that you should.
Every one of these guys are bogus nonsense. That's it. Period. Huh?
Period.
There's nothing good in them, You forget
Yes.
it. You follow?
Yes, Prabhu.
Nonsense rascals. They will look at the position of the society now. They messed it up and still messing it up. Huh?
Yes, Prabhu.
Understand? All rubbish.
Understand, Prabhu. Understand.
So, unless a person surrenders to the spiritual master, it's very difficult to give up this false ego. And if you stay in false ego, you're going to get millions and millions of problems. Huh? Hello? You want to read this?
Translation. You should consider. Sorry.
Person who asked the question, they can read.
Yes.
Okay. You
Yes,
should
Prabhu.
consider how, by the influence of my illusory energy, these three states of the mind caused by the modes of nature have been artificially imagined to exist in me. Having definitely ascertained the truth of the soul, you should utilize the sharpened sword of knowledge acquired by logical reflection and from the instructions of sages and Vedic literatures to completely cut off the false ego, which is the breeding ground of all doubts. All of you should then worship me, who am situated within the heart.
So is it clear?
Yeah, yes.
Yes.
Any other questions?
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to you, Prabhu. Prabhu, when I'm sweeping or doing some works, answer there, no, Prabhu. Answer very small one. So out of urgency, I have to kill them and everything. But devotees, I feel very guilty after that because as a Paramatma, Krishna is situated in and sought also. So I was feeling very guilty after that. I don't know if it is come under seventh offense of Nama Aparad. So I don't know how to rectify that. I don't know if it is behavior of imitation of Bhagavata, but I was feeling very guilty. This answer also is there. Krishna is there inside, no, Prabhu. So I don't know what to do with that, Prabhu.
Anyway, you try as much as possible to avoid doing it if you can.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Not do it intentionally, but if you have to some or other because of they come in the way and you accidentally you have done it, what can be done?
Yes, Prabhu.
Right?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Chant Hare Krishna because knowingly, unknowingly we are committing so much offense every day, no?
Yes, Prabhu.
Hmm. So we
Yes,
pray,
Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
pray to the Lord for some relief. Yes.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
What is this question? So should Srimati Radharan be called the Supreme Personality of Godhead? No, she should be called the energy of the Lord. She is not the Supreme, she is the Shakti, Tattva, whereas Krishna is Shaktiman. So we don't call her the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we call her the Ladini potency, The confidential decision of Lord Chaitanya's appearance fulfills all the desire. This is meaning of Sarvakanti. Yeah, she is actually meant to serve the Lord. Krishna conscious man is not in need of anything because the Lord fulfills all his material desires. Yes. So how Krishna fulfill your desires? He fulfill the desires through his different agencies, You understand? So Radharani is her desire to serve the Lord, please the Lord in every way. That is the topmost definition of a devotee. A devotee must be in that position how to give everything and not expect anything in return. So Srimati Radharani is exhibiting that symptom to teach us how to love Krishna completely without expecting anything in return. Understand? Hmm? So try to understand this point. Krishna wants to serve the devotees, and the devotees want to reciprocate and just serve him. The devotees have no other desire but to serve the Lord, and the Lord has no other desire but then to please the Lord, the devotee. So, okay, any more questions before we say thank you. So thank you very much then for all of your kind association. I hope you benefited in some way.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Thank you.
Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much,
Thank you
Prabhu.
for your association, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Vancha kalpatarubhishya kripasindhavya charanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah.
Hare Krishna to everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Please,